So welcome back guys in this today's chess video. So today we are going to look the London system's third part, where after the move d4, black has a choice either to play d5 like this, that we have overlooked in our past videos, but today in this video we are going to look the king's Indian defense like this. After the move knight f6, in this chapter I will explain what to do if black plays the king's Indian defense, that is with knight f6, on the next move g6, bishop g7 and castle. So this is the king's Indian defense. Let us look now at this point. If bishop f4 is played, and this is how we look if black plays d5, that we have overlooked in our previous video. After the move g6, which is Indian game, knight c3, bishop g7, which is I'm going for the main line, how you should defend and some theory common lines in it. After this move, if your opponent is a king's Indian defense player, he will just play bishop g7 quickly. After the move knight c3 like this, here comes the golden rule number 1. As soon as they go g6, we have to play knight c3. Why? Because we want to win in an aggressive, not reckless way. You will see what I mean. Here, if black is playing the king's Indian defense, he will go bishop g7 quickly. So here comes the fourth golden rule. After the e4 move, golden rule number 2, we play e4. This is a bit similar to the 150 attack in the Perk defense that we have seen. So what is the Perk defense? So let us look one. After the move e6, we defend with d6, d4, knight there. You can't really go for this e5 move because this will lose a pawn like this. After takes, they will take our queen. You have to take, and now he's threatening to fork and also threatening this pawn to take. So this is how we should not push the pawn on the Perk defense. After which we will develop knight r here. They will go here, bishop f4, bishop g7, and this is how we look the Pierce defense. But we are not going into it, and first we are looking after the move knight c3, bishop g7, e4. So this is the golden rule. It is bit similar to 150 attack in the Perk defense, where we are going queen d2 like this, and after the queen d2, we have to long castle and going to attack black on the king side. And this opening has an added benefit over normal Perk openings because black hasn't played d6 too early, so he can't go e5 too early. Our London bishops keeps good control of the e5 square like this. So now what's the next plan? So d6 is the most played move or the most favored move in our London system like this, which keeps control over this e5 and c5, which are the two main central squares. So now from this position, queen d2, the plan is pretty straightforward. After black castles like this, as you can see, we can go bishop h6 and trade out this powerful long little fianchetto bishop, which can control the half board like this. So you have to trade this bishop instead of this. Oh, sorry. After this move, black is planning to castle on the after this move, white is planning to castle on the queen side and black is planning to the short. So after castle, we have castle. First also we can go bishop h6. No, this was the trade mistakenly, because after you can go castle. Some of black's best moves are knight b d7 like this, because as it controls this square, he can now push this e5 pawn and have a trade in the center with a knight in the center like this. So after this move, we have knight f3, bishop c5, he captures c5, and now knight captures c5 like this. So this is the variation. After knight b d7, knight f3, there is also possibility of bishop h6 and e5 move, which we will look. After this move, knight f3 and c5. What's the next plan? Yes, to capture and take with the knight. So what if we don't develop our knight? First, we go bishop h6, trading off this powerful bishop fianchetto. So yes, they can't go back as we can take their rook like this. Yes, they can wait still and play this move, because as you can see, we can take there after king takes. We have no longer queen controlling these three weakened square because of the fianchetto. Because this pawn would control this and these two squares of the fianchetto when it was not there. And now these squares are weakened, so we can't take advantage of that. So to take with the bishop is wrong move for black like this, because it would gain this queen on the king side, taking the full advantage of these weakened squares. After which e5, we can develop our knight, takes, rook e8, defending with f3, and this is a common theory. So after this knight f3, here comes the golden rule number 3. Do your best to delay the black from playing e5. Yes, you don't have to allow this black from playing e5. As you delay it, you will gain more tempos over it. After bishop g4, you play queen e3, adding a battery and also trying for some ideas, also defending this bishop, because when this queen was here, is not defending this, and once he takes it, we have to take with this g pawn, which would lead a double isolated pawns. So from this position, queen e3 is the most played. Now look at the plan of this black. He's adding more supporters of this e5 move like this. He has now 1, 2, 3 and 4 supporters of this e5 square. He's trying to play e5. From this position, apply our golden rule number 3. Do your best to delay black from playing e5. What we can do? Yes, we can pin this e7 pawn with this bishop g5 move. Yes, pinning the pawn, very clever. Queen e8, trying really hard to enforce the e5 move. And now that queen has been misplaced to e8. Now we go bishop h6, and after they can take here, but now black is clever and takes here, because as you can see, we can't take with the queen because we will lose the bishop with a check like this. So from this position, we have to take with this, and we have to double up our pawns like this. So now here, what we can do? Yes, they can play the move e5. We can take the bishop after king takes. So we can play d captures e5, queen captures e5, and knight d5. So this is how white has got a knight in the center attacking this pawn. You don't have really much options to defend it. Yes, you can play this rook here, but now we have this g4 and g5 pushes, which will lead this knight to go anywhere like this. Let us say any move like this. Okay, it's this to play. He can't really capture there. Again, he tries to double up this attack. He can now go this. After there, can take this. After he takes, we can gain a free pawn like this. So this is how we can attack there. Also, there is a more theory. White is in total control after gaining this knight over the d5 move. And now, as the bishop on g7 is traded out, it's way more easier for white to continue his attack, because this g7 bishop is way more powerful than your bishop on any of this c4 or this f4 square. So now after the move b4, he can, and white is in total control. If the H and F and H pawns are ready to storm up the board like this, we can first push there, then advance forward. We have still H4, H4 and H5 pushes. You have to take with this pawn, and now we can gain open file, and you can see this king is there only. We can still attack with this move, queen g5. After this move, also plus we removed that important g7 bishop which was fianchettoed on the king's Indian defense. Imagine if black had the dark squared bishop now, and he had been very brilliant to influence across the b2 square, and his king would be well defended. So now his king is not well defended, and we can take the advantages of these three weakened squares like this. So this was in this video how to crush if black plays king's Indian defense with London system. So if you like this today's chess video, please subscribe to our channel and like this video.